So we got some news to get into. What do you got?
It's a quick update. I know we've kind of been following the story of Angel Reese, the star of the LSU, the NCAA women's title championship. So now a couple things. One, after Jill Biden said that she wanted both teams to come to the White House, the losing team and LSU, because they all played a pretty good game. Jill walked back her comments. Angel Reese still says, no, we're not going. I don't want to go. Unforgiven. I'd rather go to Michelle Obama's house. Let's go to the Obama's house.
We're just gonna have a full-on race war in this country, man. I mean, it's just on now. Everything is black.
She's
everything is
disgusted
white.
by the Bidens.
Well, you're fucking college. Just then fucking stay home and let the team go.
I will say this is the most coverage women's basketball has ever
That
gotten.
is
Yeah,
true.
everyone was dunking on Jill Biden on the internet, but no one was dunking on the court. So
Right.
Maybe it's me, or maybe it's because I talked to Dr. Drew too much, but whether it's Joe Biden or Jill Biden or Kamala Harris, does it seem like there's like a deficit of intellect in people that are in like a crazy positions of power? Like Jill seems like a little confused and like a little dizzy and not too sure on her feet. And like Kamala Harris just seems like a fucking babbling idiot. Like these are people who like if someone showed me tape of Kamala Harris and said, would you be okay with her running a Costco in Glendale? I'd be like, I don't know. I'd like to really look at some other applicants. You know what I mean? Much less, heartbeat away from the presidency.
Cashier, maybe work up.
Yeah, or stock. She could stock and make her way up to the cashier. Start as a greeter. Yeah, but there's a thing like when I was growing up, politicians were people you would disagree with often, but they didn't seem dingy. You know what I mean? Like half the country and everyone in my family hated Ronald Reagan. And I come from very progressive people that hate Ronald Reagan. And maybe he had policies that my parents didn't like, but it didn't seem ditzy. You know, like it didn't even like this fucking guy doesn't know where fucking he is. You know, like there's a lot of that.
Sure.
Like Nancy Pelosi just seems like a fucking old coot. Like what the like I just like doesn't think. She speaks. She's like the people do it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like it's like
a lot of just looking at Twitter and try to regurgitate that too, where it's like you have no actual sort of like first principles beliefs on any of it.
Yes, yeah, or just like.
Jangela Reese stuff is like 100% them trying to play both sides, where they were kind of like, okay, we'll just sort of invite both of them or whatever. And you're like, you don't really understand the thing. No, that one girl was like, no, I'm allowed to do this, and she's my enemy. Yeah. So they thought they could sort of play both sides on this one. And then I honestly think the Angela Reese girl, it's kind of funny that she's actually just being like,
I like her. I like her agitating too.
I actually do kind of like her agitating.
It even goes deeper than that. So she was doing an interview and she said, Joe Biden was supposed to come visit our locker room after the game. We all said no.
Wow.
And they're like, wait, why? Because she didn't say the Iowa thing yet.
Yeah.
Before that, and she's like, because they didn't in their brackets they didn't have us winning.
Wow.
So yeah, we didn't even want her coming in at
petty.
all. Yeah, she's petty.
Wow.
Yeah, she's funny. Yeah,
it's gonna serve her well later in life.
Can we pull this chick up? Oh no.
Angel Reese.
I mean, it was going to serve them well when they were working at Panera Bread.
Yeah, I know.
After they finished a WNBA game, or as I call it, WNBA for effort.
Kamala Harris went into we can find the footage. She
the
went
motivational speech.
Yeah, she went into the Howard locker room after they lost and you guys played the most. It's like I don't even know what she's saying.
You guys just keep it on. It's the scoreboard, the basketball. Good job.
But this is what I'm talking about. It's not about disagreeing with the policy because I don't even really know what their policy is. They're having an inability to communicate clearly.
Yes.
But that's a new strata of ineptitude in politics that didn't exist in the past. Oh,
so here's her post-game message.
They lost, right? They got blown out.
You played hard. You played to the very last second.
Lost by 30 points.
She seems like she's had 4 glasses of wine.
You hustled out there. You are smart. You are disciplined. You put everything you had into the game.
She would have been a good actor,
that's what it's about, right? Until the last minute.
Wait, well, pause it. What was the fucking final score of this game? you guys are smart. You made the running with things. Like, what I'm saying is just go, like, just fucking walk in there and go, I know everyone's disappointed
trying
right
to get the
now.
viral moment.
I remember when I was in college and, things didn't go my way. But I used it. I motivated myself. I used it as a learning experience. And I expect everyone in this room to be doing amazing things 10 years from now. Instead, like, you guys moved and you had thoughts with a ball, and then you took the ball, but you kept moving until then it ended because then you had to stop. It's like she's talking to 7-year-olds, and she's 9.
Yeah, I think
The score was 96 to 68.
In her mind,
lost by
until the
28
last
points.
second, you didn't give up.
she feels like this speech is going to be on YouTube after with like inspirational music and kind of be like everyone's any given Sunday speech.
All right,
moving on.
now we're going to watch it again, knowing that they lost by what? 90?
28.
28?
28.
That's fucking blown out.
Well, that's why people didn't like the thing too, right? That you can't see me.
You guys are so good.
different game. But
Oh, well then.
So good.
Maybe I'm her.
Played hard. You played to the very last second.
Yeah, they did.
30-point
You made all
blowout.
us Bisons so proud. You hustled out there. You are smart. You are disciplined. You put everything you had into the game. And that's what it's about, right? Until the last minute. You guys did that. You didn't stop until the last second. You did not stop.
all right, and she's emphasized the point that they played until the game ended.
Yeah.
Big
You're
win.
still here. You're still
Four
alive.
times.
You
That's
still
what
exist.
everybody does in every single game starting in junior high. You just play and then the game ends.
I think they.
She doesn't say things. That's my point is, why aren't more people going? I feel the same with Michelle Obama. It's like you have to be the light that you are, and your job is to find the light in others and then project your light onto others. And the only way people can see your light is if they find their light.
Steve.
They don't say anything, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, yes."
That's the art of politics, period.
But-
Kinda, right?
But I would like a little more substance or something.
I think with Joe and with Kamala, I think they are so controlled by these 30-year-olds in the White House who just graduated from Berkeley with degrees in women's studies. They are the real decision makers. It's like the deep state of the White House telling them to go talking to the microphone about having an ID being Jim Crow 2.0. Or the necessity of bringing Dylan Mulvaney in for a one-on-one sit-down with Joey. And when you get these people to improvise it to any degree, they're incapable because everything else they do and say is dictated to them by a 35-year-old chick with a fucking nose ring. That's why you get moments like that.
I agree with all of that, except for as a college-educated person who's a former prosecutor, you can't stand on a carpet square in a locker room and be coherent. Why not? Why can't you be
It really does just
You
seem
played
like a
until the
wine
game
mom.
ended. She hit, and by the way, we cut it off. I don't know if she kept going.
If she says that again, I'll lose my mind.
She also gets caught on one dumb thought.
You played
and
to the final whistle.
And keeps repeating it.
Some
I
of
don't
us
know.
it might be
We'll
just
play it.
doing like 45 speeches and they just give zero
So you
shits.
keep
Why aren't more people put off by the nothing talk? That's what I'm saying.
It feels like it really is the name of the game. Like if you go to politics, they're like, first of all, like we're gonna give you the maximum words to say the littlest amount of stuff.
Yes.
I want to see her do like a commencement speech.
Oh God. All right. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, they're not going right at this moment.
just
They
love
don't
it.
want to go to the White
Okay.
House.
Don't
She's
go.
petty, and I love her more now.
I like her more too.
She's
I
interesting.
hope she goes to Obama's house and trashes it. I hope they go to the place in Maui when the Obamas aren't there and just fucking take a shit in the entry hall. That's what I hope. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Well, there's a story out of San Francisco. Yeah, Danny's old stomping ground.
That's right.
So a man was fatally stabbed early Tuesday near downtown San Francisco, and he was the founder of Cash App, which is like this big way to like digitally
Yeah.
exchange money.
It's like a rival to Venmo, right? Essentially, it's the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's huge.
It's kind of like the lower class Venmo.
Right, but still a big deal. I see it used all the time. But so San Francisco Police Department said officers responded to report of the stabbing around 2:35 a.m. on Tuesday, and they found a 43-year-old man with apparent stab wounds. He died in the hospital. And
He died in the hospital.
Yeah, he died in the hospital.
Well, it had to be a homeless guy who stabbed him,
Well,
right?
here's the thing. So they don't know. There are no suspects.
Oh, my
and they just
God.
San Francisco police has nobody.
Just walking through the city?
Yeah, I mean, if it was at 2:35 a.m., yeah, it must have just been
Jesus Christ.
right. So I mean, yeah, really well known guy.
Well, I mean, okay. So how else is this going to go? Because you have people that are out of their fucking mind on speed, and speed makes you really fucking violent. And there's also like a new breed of speed, which is making people totally fucked up. Pot is fucking up people. You have fentanyl that's fucking everyone up. And then everyone on the street has to have a weapon because you're on the street and you got to fucking protect yourself from all the other fucking psychotic nut jobs. So now we have a bunch of fucking crazy zombie types who are completely beaked out of their mind with a fucking machete. And we've told them no going indoors. You got to just wander.
Yeah.
You just wander. Just take your fucking machete.
It's a video game.
Take
Yeah.
your fucking fentanyl and you just wander.
You can have a tent, maybe.
And then we'll see if you get agitated or pissed off or you want someone's wallet or a fucking mountain bike, and we'll just leave it at that. We'll see what happens.
I've gone up and done a bunch of videos in San Francisco right now. It's getting increasingly zombie movie-esque because also downtown San Francisco right now, it's the emptiest downtown in America. The New York Times wrote an article on it because everybody who worked in San Francisco all worked for tech companies and had the ability to go remote. So now there's fewer and fewer people on the street, emboldening the fentanyl addict who's running around with a hatchet to
Right.
stab CEOs of major financial companies.
Right.
They got Kessa Bodine out of there. That's what we went there to shoot a video on, who was the insane DA who
Yes.
refused to prosecute anything. But there still are open consumption sites where they give you clean needles and a nice cushy chair to shoot fentanyl in right in the heart of Civic Center.
What does it look like? Is it like a little box that you shoot up in?
We tried to get in there. We tried to barge it.
Yeah.
Like the bit was that we wanted to party in an open consumption site.
Hell yeah.
So we brought like 40s and fucking tequila, and we
so
showed
good.
up. But then, of course, they were not allowed to come in there and drink our alcohol because there are people.
This is more of a
shooting
heroin
into their
thing?
cock.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
more of a
yeah.
heroin hangout.
Well, all right. So you guys riddle me this then, and we'll see if we can figure this out. Because most the big cities that went blue and then got the sort of soft on crime DAs are all fucking experiencing a lot of homelessness and crime, and everything's on the uptick. And because they decided we're not gonna prosecute this, or we're not gonna prosecute that, but everybody who fucking pushes someone onto the tracks at a subway station or stabs some CEO, they always find out they had a fucking huge rap sheet. They were let out early or not prosecuted at all, or had their thing
In San Francisco specifically.
downgraded from a felony to a misdemeanor, and then they're unleashed on society, and then the sane taxpayer starts drifting out of the city. So I don't get what the overall plan is other than chaos.
Get voted again.
But who's your constituency? Fentanyl addicts? Like, what about the people that are paying taxes? But so here's my question for you. So Lori Lightfoot of Chicago was kind of down with this. Like, she was pissed off.
Didn't they get like someone more aggressive just recently?
Yeah, she was mad at store owners for not having tethers. There's
She's
that
so
word
funny.
again. She was like, hey, if you own a Gucci store downtown, why don't you have a fucking cable running through all your purses?
A guy with a Labrador took
this
all
is
the
not
tethers.
on the guy who threw the fucking vending machine through your glass and broke in and took all, weren't you? Or the downtown vendors, why aren't you using Venmo? You're using cash. Of course you're going to get robbed. So
Catalytic converters, as you
She's
know so
hilarious.
well.
catalytic converter. So all these fucking crazy half chicks and then dudes that think like chicks have decided that the criminals aren't really the problem. It's kind of it's sort of the taxpayers the problem. And then at some point Lori Lightfoot, I guess she termed out, but she didn't even make the top 3 on the runoff when they were coming back. So people are like, we don't like her policy. We don't like her. We don't like all the crime. So enough Lori Lightfoot. And then it comes down between 2 dudes, like a kind of moderate Democrat and then like a hard left guy who's to the left of Lori Lightfoot, who's all down with the defund the police and all this shit. And the police are like, we don't fucking want this guy. If this guy comes in, then we're quitting and everything. And the citizens of Chicago vote for that guy. Why? What are they thinking?
So it's Brandon Johnson. That's that guy.
I think they're just really good at playing the kind of to the race thing there. I mean, in New York, they voted the Eric Adams was kind of like a tough on crime Democrat, so it's not always shaking down like that.
San Francisco, they pushed back too. San Francisco, they threw out the school board. They brought in Brooke Jenkins as the new DA, who is harder on crime, and she was fighting against Kessa Bodine, who was the Soros-funded guy before her. So yeah, I don't know why. I'm not familiar with Chicago politics. I can't explain that. It boggles my mind too. They'd go from Lori Lightfoot to a guy further left.
Yeah, so Paul Vallis, the other guy, so he's a moderate former city schools superintendent who campaigned on a pro-police message in a race where concerns about violent crime were central.
Right. Now, you know what I'm starting to think? Actually, I've always thought this. We have this weird thing in politics and beyond, which is, but we have it for, I'm sorry, hosting a show. If you fire a black person, you have to replace them with another black person. Otherwise, it's kind of racist. So the one dude is super white and Lori Lightfoot is super black. And so they got rid of the black chick. And it's like, well, you got to be replaced with a black dude. Here's my hypotheses. Are you guys ready?
I'm listening.
My hypothesis is it's not worth 10 percentage points, but it's worth like 3.5. Our former mayor was black. It was historic, and we got rid of her. And that's just kind of a black gig now, and we're going to replace her. When all I'm saying is, you got white dude over here, black dude over here. It's good for a couple ticks, right? It's good. Like the whatever was between them was like 15,000 votes out of 280,000 or whatever. It's got to be, and I don't even think it's black people. I think it's middle-aged white women. They're like, we are progressive, are we not? Like I don't think it's good for 5 or 10 percentage points, but it's good for like 2.5 or 3, which is probably the difference here.
The same thing with Caruso and Bass. That was definitely a factor going on here in LA too.
Right.
Yeah, and Brandon Johnson really heavily backed by the teachers union.
Oh, they have good. Problem solved.
That's some of it with too. A lot of times it's like they're a single issue voter and crime just ain't that issue. You know what I mean?
And can I say this? If defunding the police works or worked, why does everyone distance themselves from it so much? We have hours of fucking videotape of your lying ass talking about defunding the police from 17 months ago. Now you're like, I never said it. What? Lean into it. Yeah, I said defund the police. I fucking believe in it. I got other policies here. Why does everyone go, oh, yeah, no, I wasn't that guy.
You want the vote.
We have films. We have plenty of fucking footage of you saying that on camera.
It went great, by the way, didn't it? That was another thing. It just the second they did that, it's just where does all the violent crime go up by double-digit percentage points in neighborhoods of color?
Yes,
instantly.
Exactly where they did it. Get black people killed. Fucking nuts. Something's wrong. Yeah. I don't know what it is. We found the Man Show Boys Instagram.
Yeah. Wow, Adam.
It's got updated pics.
Yes, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
He's got his blue belt. Good boy.
Oh my
Two
God!
stripes. He looks kind of handsome.
I thought he'd be like 700 pounds by now.
Way fatter.
I thought he was the black belt at first.
He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he looks good. MSB. Well, maybe we'll bring him in here and he can roll with Danny.
I'm gonna bring my mace.
Yeah, you gotta hit him up and do a video with him.
Just squirt him in the eye when you guys can't see.
All right. Sorry. What else do we got?
Yeah, so now let's go to the East Coast. This is East Hampton, Massachusetts. A guy was offered the position as the head of the schools over there, but then he was notified that his job offer has been withdrawn. And the reason being is he sent an email to them, and he he talked to there are two ladies or two females on there. He said ladies. He called them ladies in the email, and they called it a microaggression, and they withdrew his.
Adam's double sober.
I know they withdrew his offer because he addressed them as ladies in the email.
I don't care what these crazy bitches are up to. I always say, what the fuck is wrong with everyone else? Like, why are we going along with this shit? When people want to know your pronouns or to explain to you it's Latinx, it's not. No one goes, shut the fuck up. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sound like an asshole. It sounds like you're fucking 9.
Yeah.
What
I know
are
a few
you doing?
people that kind of made a stink at work because the work was like, you got to put your pronouns. And they're like, well, I don't want to announce who I voted for in my work email.
Right. Right. Yes.
Yeah, so they said in the email that using ladies as a greeting was hostile and derogatory.
I guess depends how you said it.
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't know that as an educator was a problem.
No, no one knows it's a problem because it's not a problem, ladies. So fuck right off.
Lady is the best though, just to a girl like, listen, lady. Lady's a great one. Lady, take it easy, lady.
That's
Jerry
like Guy.
Lewis would
Thanks,
be
Guy.
out of a career. Kenny Rogers, that was a lady, right? Lady.
I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you.
Jesus,
You
you're
have
making me
come
hot.
into my
That's
life.
Kenny Rogers, right?
I used to get, when I worked in restaurants, I'd get chewed out for calling ladies ma'am. But that was because they were proud and they took pride in their appearance and they thought ma'am aged them. And they
Yeah,
wanted,
oh,
yeah, I've seen-
young lady would have been preferred. Ma'am has an age connotation, I suppose.
That's
So-
why you do it. Just a little dig, like, hey, ma'am. And they don't like it. And you go, oh, okay, I don't know. What are you, 60?
So who are these two bitches? What are their names?
So it's a chairperson, Cynthia Kwasinski, and Suzanne Colby, executive assistant to the committee. So he dressed them as ladies. So what he was trying to do was it was an attempt to negotiate higher pay and more sick days because he calculated
Did
that
you? Don't you guys, when you were in school, don't you wish teachers hated their fucking job as much as these teachers hate it now? Like, I fucking be in my school, my teachers never missed a fucking day. Now everything is about them just fighting over. We need more time at home. We need okay. Now I'm angry. I've gotten to this, and it just keeps going, which is every motherfucking time there's a break. Easter break or summer break or Christmas break, I say to my kids on Sunday night, well, it's back to the salt mines tomorrow, Monday morning, and they always go, we don't go back, we go back Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And I go, why Tuesday? It's like, we just don't go back because nobody wants to go the fuck back to work on Monday, but all normal people go back to work on Monday after you've been off for fucking 2 weeks, but they don't. And the other goddamn day, the holiday went into Monday. It went into Monday. So then I came on a Monday and I said, well, it's back to work now on Tuesday. And they go, no, we do Wednesday. They fucking kick an extra day onto every fucking holiday. You just had 3 weeks off. Why do you need another? They fucking hate working. They hate it. They fucking any excuse. Every negotiate. If you loved work, then why are you negotiating for less work all the time?
They were, for people who aren't local, they just took to the streets last week for 3 days in the middle of the week, like TikToking and fucking doing flash mob dances in front of their elementary schools.
Yes.
That were empty.
They fucking hate work. Also, here's how you know you hate work. You sign up for a job where you have the entire summer off. 3 months of nothingness.
Yeah.
That's not someone who's into their job. There's nobody who's into their job who wants fucking 3 months off.
Plus
they want 3 days off.
Plus Christmas break. Plus some time off for President's Day. Spring break.
They work less. They have more vacation days. More. If you just took the whole calendar and you did
Minus
weekends.
the kids, it's a dream job.
Oh yeah, and
the
then
kids is
people
the incentive.
Oh, and then people get to people fucking label you a hero because you're super fucking lazy and you're always agitating for fucking more money and less work.
Yeah.
Oh, move over, Clark Kent. There's a new sheriff in town, a super lethargic sheriff who wants to get paid more for doing less. And listen, if you took all the calendar days in the year, they work less than they do. And then you go, you're including weekends? Yeah. Guess who's working this fucking weekend, bitches? Me. Guess who worked 2 weekends ago in fucking Florida? Yes, people do. Mark Garagos works every fucking weekend. People have jobs and careers, do work. on fucking. Where the fuck were we on Saturday, Chris Maxipata?
That's all the government jobs. When I was in Canada, they used to strike like twice a year. Like legitimately, you just get an extra vacation here and there every year because
That's all they want.
strike.
Where were we
it was
Saturday?
awesome.
We were in Tucker Carlson's hotel room.
What was I doing?
Sucking his dick.
Sucking his dick and working.
We were working
It was
first.
a great interview.
That's right. That's my whole point. All right.
But Adam, you know, when they get super tenured and they get super unioned up, you know their
God.
performance just increases in quality,
They're
right?
the fucking worst.
That is the same when I worked in
teachers.
restaurants too. When somebody was super union, you can count on them to be the most crotchety, incoherent, poor employee that the restaurant has too.
Because people are made that way when you tell them you are essentially saying you can't get fired. Tell everyone they can't get fired and then see how their attitude changes immediately.
Incentives are gone.
Right. Anyway, what are these bitches doing again?
Oh well, so he was getting, he was trying to get more pay and more sick days because he realized his annual salary of $151,000 was $14,000 less than when he was a superintendent at another district. So he addressed them as ladies and tried to negotiate. Didn't work out. And then shortly thereafter, he was informed that the job offer had been withdrawn following a vote.
Oh, and by the way, let me tell you another problem. We need more women in positions of power. Fucking have fun. They're so fucking vindictive and shitty. You guys are fucking nuts if this is your utopia. I grew up around all these assholes. Like, if we only had a woman in power, the woman president, there'd be no more wars. There'd be nonstop wars. You guys are fucking nuts if you want more women. You should have more qualified people in positions of power. This thing is, we're just going to... The LA City fucking board is all fucking crazy yenta bitches who fucking will fucking ruin your shit in a second. Keep your restaurant open during COVID. See how the ladies... See how forgiving the ladies are over there. So magnanimous the fucking ladies are. You cross those ladies, they fuck your shit up. Ugh.
As you so well put it, the three name people. The ladies with two last names and one first name are the ones you got to look out for in positions of power.
That's true.
That's Adam's bit. It's so true, though.
Oh, it's like Maria Conchita Alonso Escuela's coming into the room. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We are fucked.
She's going to have a level-headed approach to policy, I'm
She
sure.
negotiated her last name to be part of your guys' last name. Yeah, that's right.
All right. Fuck these bitches. Oh, we are fucked, everybody. You know who's the craziest is, what's her name? I always say Roberta Weintraub, but it's Randy Weingarten. You want to know, like, bitch gone wild. That's her just up there just fucking screaming all the time about we need more COVID money and teachers can't go back and unsafe. Like, she's a fucking
The unsafe
bitch.
stuff's so crazy now. Just being like,
We need more plexiglass on fishing wire hanging.
That being said, on the other side of that, there's like a video like once a week of teachers having to like fight kids. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Some of these teaching jobs, some of these guys, you're like, yeah, I probably should get double. You have to fight like 9 kids a day.
Yeah.
There's a teacher that got shot by the kid.
Yep.
There's teachers throwing down.
There's a video every day of a teacher getting like a legit fist fight.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
that-
They just
That was
had
a hot
enough.
thing.
There was that football player that just took out that female teacher.
Trucked her.
They trucked her.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I'm most interested is I'm not really interested in the teacher that got trucked or the student that trucked them. I'm always interested in the people walking past it.
The filmers.
Like just not, I'm fucking going to get involved. Like
Not part of
this
this.
fucking 250-pound dude is on top of this chick,
Miss
like punching
Anderson's
her in the
getting
head.
it.
And you're like,
Yeah.
stay clear of this.
That was vicious. That guy could have unseated you from your linebacker glory in the
Oh,
80s.
Alex Richardson, move over.
Yeah.
Although when I went to school, a guy came with a gun and then robbed our teacher at gunpoint.
Really?
Yeah, robbed the teacher at gunpoint, stole her car, and then took off. And then
In front of you?
No, we weren't there, but I
Oh.
was there that day. But there actually is a part of the story that I was involved in. Is we used to have these notes that you could write people that would get you out of school for doctor's notes.
You had the slip.
We stole a slip.
Nice.
And then me and my buddies wrote these notes, and we gave him one, and then he used that note to go stick up a teacher. And then he stole her car, and then the helicopters, like basically, and then he had like a standoff at his house, and that guy's in jail for a while though. But
Sure.
Wow.
That escalated.
Being a teacher can suck.
You went to school in Los Angeles County. I don't know about you. When I was in elementary school, the idea of assaulting a teacher was so foreign. It was about as actionable as me traveling to Mars at age
Does
6.
seem wild.
But now, like, it's...
At my school, it was happening
Is it
a
this,
little.
this general attitude of permissiveness now? Like Adam's talking about, like, oh, the people who are stealing pickup truckloads of catalytic converters, they're just people of impoverished communities. We can't come down on them. You should have the chicken wire around your catalytic converter. What is this new thing? Did it exist? Was it conscionable in the 80s to attack a teacher?
No, it's the self-esteem movement. We empowered kids. We told them all they were number one and the coolest and the best, and no one should ever tell them anything.
Don't let your
And
teacher look at you like
we
that.
made them. we empowered them. We fucking empowered kids, and the whole point about being a kid is sort of the opposite. You're basically a green rookie Marine first day of boot camp. You need to be fucking broken down and then built up, essentially. We built them up, but the way you build people up is a fucking obstacle course and climb up a rope. We took all the fucking ropes down. There's no more dropping
elevator in.
and getting them 20. We did figure out we like shaking them more on the ground than we did climbing them. Like, that's how that fucking rope shake workout thing came up. People were like, what do we do with all these ropes? I know, we'll invent a new exercise that takes up more room and gets less results. We'll do a thing where you need 30 feet of clear space and then everyone's going to fucking go nuts on the end of the rope. Yeah, it is an interesting theory because they're the same ropes.
It's when they went horizontal, everything changed.
Everything changed. First off, when I was a kid, there would be 8 ropes in 12 foot. Maximum use of space, and you'd get the best workout ever trying to get up the fucking rope. But then we took all the ropes down and we started doing the shake
I mean,
move.
I think now the kids would break the ropes.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have a shot. Yeah, but we empowered all the kids. We fucking self-esteem movement gave it to them. We told them they're all fucking number one.
Got 'em
and
fat.
now they don't fucking listen. That's why would they? Why would you listen to an old? And by the way, we made old bad. We made old. That's a bad demo. Like every time you hear, anytime you ever talk to like TV guys, you know, they go, how are the ratings doing? Well, overall we're good. And then someone will go, yeah, but in the demo, that fucking 14 to 19 and a half, we are not doing well in that demo. Like, the cherished demo for TV is like 18 to 24 or something. Like, that's the demo. That's the demo.
Okay.
Could you guys afford anything when you were 19 or 21? Like, I couldn't. Why are you running a commercial for
consumer.
Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
I don't have fucking a penny in my pocket. I buy a ton more shit now, expensive shit now that I'm old. I couldn't afford anything, but they went the fucking demo. The demo. Everything's about being young. Everything's about the demo. That's why they pipe all the fucking techno music into old school steakhouses and shit. Like, we started bending society and like catering to these people, and now they're just fucking walk around going, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Why wouldn't I? This teacher upset me. I should punch her. That's what we did.
I don't think you should punch them, but like, but maybe like make your teacher flinch
Thank
might
you.
be nice every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, just scare them a little bit. But now I understand why teachers want that extra day off. I mean, that's,
That's
a lot to deal with.
Gotta put a steak on their eye.
Yeah.
A raw steak. That's what we used to do when you got a black eye.
So there's this viral video that's been going around of this woman. It's gross. We don't have to watch it, but she's
Let's cue it up.
she's playing the slots, and
Like a slot junkie.
she's a slot
Crap in her
junkie,
pants?
peeing her pants.
Nice.
Yeah, and just
Love
and you
it.
just see the urine just falling from her skirt down onto the floor.
I just came from Vegas.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess this happens all the time. So when that video was posted, a lot of former casino and current casino workers would chime in and going, this is not unusual. This happens a lot more
Standard.
than you think. Actually, a lot of these compulsive gamblers will bring diapers. Like, they'll just wear diapers because they don't want to get up from these slots. It's actually really common. They replace the chairs all the time.
Really?
Like, yeah, because this happens a lot more than you think.
Oh, well, let's watch now.
Okay.
That is
Wow.
wild.
Yeah. So. So.
Well, I was expecting way grosser.
Me too.
She's...
What?
And she's just taking a leak, not even flinching.
She's gone pantyless, right?
I hope so.
She looks like an escort.
She does have an
Yeah,
escort.
really.
Kind of.
I was expecting like a old broad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Supposedly very common.
Ugh.
Don't.
It's another exhibit A of like society and the ruination of our society. Like, we've come undone. Dogs shitting at the airport, hookers pissing at the slots. It's all done. It's like I'm just gonna go apologize to my kids and just go, you're fucking on your own. Like
Casino culture's so gross.
you guys gotta
weird,
find Jehovah and move in some place with some land or something. Like it's our society as we know it is done.
Yeah. Well, that
They should just allow you to leave your. It would solve the whole thing, though. If I was a casino guy, you go, okay, allow people to like leave their slot for a 3-minute span and they can block it off. Like,
Yeah.
you should be allowed to pay a service where you go, I'll pay an extra $20 and a security guard watches your thing for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just cone it off.
Like, security guards, they should offer that at the casino. Wouldn't that solve the whole thing?
I mean, why are we enabling these tards to slot it?
well, you're not enabling them. You're getting them for more money.
Yeah, I guess that's smart.
He's a businessman.
What's slot etiquette? Like at the movie theater, you put your jacket on the seat.
No, someone leaves for the second you come down and
You're
crush
done.
it. Probably,
Right.
yeah.
Dude, I mean,
these
most-
vultures that see someone that's been just, plugging this thing up with money and not getting any return.
I get it. It's like when you count cards and the deck's loaded with tens.
That's how they see it.
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was
They've
a
been
strategy.
waiting for this dude to go take a piss.
What if I went and pissed on someone else's machine and claimed it? You know what I mean?
That's how you
'Cause
do
I
it.
could piss good on someone's machine.
You're spending too much time around Phil.
Or Ray. Yeah.
That's how you mark your machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of these gamblers, so the Las Vegas mass shooter who shot up that country concert. So
I lived in Vegas at the time.
Oh,
That was
wow.
scary. Yeah.
freaking crazy. So new FBI documents say that the reason he did it, the motive was because he was a high roller, and then the casinos weren't giving him his perks anymore.
I saw that.
They
Is
were,
that
like,
true?
so this is what the FBI says. The police department saying that is not true at all.
I'm skeptical
So,
also.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel when I buy a lot of stuff at, like Five Guys or something. I'm like, you can't give me a little bit extra fries.
Right.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
This story's always been sketchy, and I'm not sure why, but we never really got. This is like the biggest mass murder in American history,
Yeah.
and the news was kind of quiet about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's house was broken into after the crime. Like they didn't have it guarded or roped off or something. There was a story that someone broke into his house and stole some shit after this guy went on the rampage.
Jeez.
It's all kind of fucked up, and there's something to it. I just don't know.
It's all
what it
wishy-washy. Yeah, I
is.
think you're right.
It's pretty foggy in my memory. I remember there were other people he knew. I remember he had some sort of ties to something or other that I don't know if it was government or military.
It feels just a little like I got half a tinfoil hat on with this story.
I've had a tinfoil hat with a lot of these lately. You're just
Yes.
like, none of this really completely seems like the full story ever.
Yeah, you've been having that for a lot of the recent news.
It's
stories.
hard not to.
Well, COVID and Hunter Biden's laptop
All
and all
credibility,
fucking where the
out the door,
virus came from a pangolin. I mean,
you
those-
see them be wrong
they weren't hurting
45
the
times, and
dolphins.
then they go, here's the new one. You go,
well,
okay.
the news used to be wrong, but they didn't lie. They
Yeah.
were just wrong. Now they're lying.
Yeah,
they're
that's a
just
good point.
lying about shit.
Yeah.
And so I tend to not trust them anymore because of all the fucking lying they did about COVID and laptops and everything.
Yeah, you really have to like parse out everyone's biases to just try to paint some sort of picture of what's going on.
But this is the FBI.
FBI's been doing some pretty
I
fucked up
know.
shit too. Like, so everybody's not to be trusted at this point. If you would have got hold of me a couple of years ago and went, someone from the FBI says X, Y, and Z, and then the head of the World Health Organization says this, and the head of the CDC says that, I'd be like, carved in stone. Then there's no questioning any of that.
Yeah.
They're the head of the CDC, and they say X, Y, or Z. Now it's like, bullshit. Let me look into this. I don't believe
We're
it.
gonna have to investigate this FBI release.
Oh,
now.
there's this guy in the CIA that got me, like, I actually knew that we were, like, hanging out and we went and, like, stormed the Capitol. Turns out this guy's, like, a CIA guy. I thought it was, like, a buddy that I met at a bar.
Did you? Which phalanx were you a part of? When did you go in?
Yeah, I was one of the early guys.
I mean,
Nice, dude. The
they
forlorn
had a
hope.
document that 51 former FBI and CIA and security leaders all signed saying that Hunter Biden's laptop was fake. They all signed it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are we going to listen to those guys?
Yeah,
I don't think
you
so.
go. At the very least, you're stupid, but more likely that you're lying.
Stupid or liar?
Yeah.
Seems more likely you're lying,
You
though.
are lying.
Yeah.
Just said there's no sanctity in anything anymore.
No,
Like,
it's fucking nuts. So everyone is questioning everything, but not because we want to. It's like when you have someone in your life and they get caught lying a couple times, then when they go, "Oh, I'm running late because,
You're
whatever,"
not,
you're
though,
like,
yeah.
Maybe you are.
Your buddy that
But
told
I-
you hot chicks were at the bar the 6
Yes.
times.
That's right. That's right.
No, but you kind of. It really does feel like this. All of these organizations or a lot of places in the last 5 years cashed in all of their capital of you believing them.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a couple big last scores.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then but their time exists afterwards.
Yes.
So now
Right.
It's they went all in on the pharmaceutical money boom from dishing out the
Yeah.
shots,
Right.
but now their credibility is just completely shot. It's to clear some of the fog of war on the Vegas shooting, because I was there. I can say this.
Okay.
He was gonna shoot up. And this is what makes me think, Chris, that the theory that he had bones to pick with the MGM casino group.
Sure.
This pokes holes in that, because originally he wanted to shoot up the Life is Beautiful festival. I know because I attended that festival, and that scared the shit out of us.
And that's in the
after the
outskirts of
fact.
Vegas, right?
Yes, and he was going to shoot it up from a condo he was going to rent that had no affiliation with gaming. I was at that festival wearing a banana suit, so
Wow.
I probably would have been
Yeah.
the first man gunned down. I was also nearing blackout, not as drunk as my reunion. The second thing I can say for certain about this,
That's wild that you were there.
after the shooting, $29 rooms at the Mandalay Bay. It was beautiful. It was the
really?
best
Yeah,
time
of
to visit
course.
Vegas.
Yeah, no,
great,
for me,
dude.
that was speeding on 9/11. I was in a BMW
You turned it into
M3
the
with a
Autobahn?
supercharger going 125 miles an hour down the Ventura Freeway. Like, if there's one fucking day, every cop's on tactical alert. They're all fucking racing to the airport. Everyone is home, frozen in front of their TV set. If there is a day I can do 140
open this
miles
thing
an
up.
hour on the Ventura fucking freeway, today is that
Yeah,
day.
it's like I am legend out there.
I know. I drove to Reseda at 120 miles an hour. I didn't even need to go to Reseda. I was just like, I remember thinking clearly, I'm going to open up this fucking baby and unwind it. And very distinctly that day, if there's ever a day, that's going to be the day.
Yeah, look,
No
you got
tickets.
to capitalize on these tragedies, I guess.
Yeah. All guys that are performance-oriented drivers, look for tragedy.
Yes. And drive your car 120 miles per hour to the Mandalay Bay.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Next mass shooting.
I had a group of buddies who rented a house. They all went in on a house together to rent, and they got such a crazy deal. It was unheard of. I'm like, how did you get this deal? And they're like, oh, family. Dad killed everybody in the bathtub, and just
Really?
yeah. So they lived there and they partied there over years. It's nuts.
It's the way the kids would have wanted it.
That's actually not a bad idea, is to look for some of those houses that had wild stuff happen in them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I could deal with that.
You can deal with it.
Yeah, there should
I think
be.
the girls never don't like it that much.
There
though,
should be like
probably.
a
Yeah.
atheist B&B. Which is like, if you're fucking atheist and you don't care there's a mass murder.
I was just about to say I'm too agnostic. I think my brain would talk me out of it if they're like, by the way, Guy Hatchett murdered his wife. But an atheist.
Well, you're like,
B&B,
it's not gonna happen twice.
Like they raped and tortured Indians in the garden. Atheist B&B doesn't give a fuck.
But we pass along the savings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if you don't care about
Being saved.
juju or bad vibes or whatever, atheist B&B. And by the way, we don't judge. You want to sacrifice a goat while you're here? That's your business. You just clean up.
That's you passing it forward to the next
That's
guy.
right.
We're working together.
Oh, we'll get like Penn Jillette to be the spokesperson.
Great, yeah.
Oh, it'll be fucking awesome. Bill Maher and Penn Jillette. We get them as angel investors. You know what I mean? That's a company.
If you haven't been saved, well, maybe it's time you can save.
Yes, it's time to save. All right. Yeah, because a pedophile clown lived in this house for 26 years. Now he's dead, and we're passing the savings on to you.
Stay out of the crawl space.
That's right.
Stay out of the crawl space beneath the house.
We haven't removed the cages.
Keep it preserved.
All right. We bringing it home?
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Turlock, almost sold out at the Community Theater this Friday, doing stand-up, and then off to the Fresno Tower Theater coming up. That'll be Saturday. A couple tickets left for that one. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. We're coming to New York, coming to Oklahoma City, and Huntsville, and Monterey. Ryan.
When are you coming to New York?
Coming to New
May
York.
26th and 27th, Sony Hall.
Oh, hell
Sony
yeah.
Hall.
Yeah, it's across.
Have you been there yet?
No, I've
It's
never been to
brand
Sony
new,
Hall.
so it's like because Caroline's closed down, so
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is like
yeah.
the new venue they put
Oh,
across the
that's
street.
their venue.
Well,
Yeah.
come on out and say hi if you're
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
neighborhood.
That's cool.
RyanLongComedy.com is where you go because there's going to
Yeah.
be the punchline.
I'm
coming
actually
up.
doing a New York show at Gramercy Theater. I'm doing a couple of those, so if that's on sale now, Ryan Long Comedy. And I'm doing San Diego around here. And the Boys Cast with Ryan Long is the podcast. Philadelphia, too. That's
Also, Danny's YouTube page at Danny Mullen Official is where you go. And until next time, Sam Carolla, Ryan Long, Danny Mullen, Chris Max Betta saying mahalo.